He went from a homeless vagrant to a best-selling author. It is said that his books can transform people because the content of the books is the dialogue between mortals and gods. This is a movie adapted from a real event. Neil is a well-known host. He has a decent job and a very good income. But a sudden car accident changed his fate. Neil lost his job at the radio station because of a broken cervical vertebra. He tried to apply for a job elsewhere, but no company would take the risk to hire him. 3 months later, Neil lost hope in life. He couldn't pay the rent, and no relatives or friends were willing to help him, so he had to live on the streets. Neil had no choice but to go to his ex-wife to ask for a place to stay for one night, but he felt ashamed, so he sneaked into the garage and took the children's tent for camping. Neil found a camping site in the rain. He was soaked and cold. That night, he felt like he was going to die. But what was more painful than death was that he was still alive. The campground manager woke him up and told him that camping here was charged. Neil thought how much camping could cost, so Neil gave it to the manager because he needed a place to live near the city and continued to try to find a job. But he was already in his 50s and no company was willing to hire him even though he had rich work experience. Because the boss would say that they wanted young people, but if they were young, the boss wanted experienced people. In the final analysis, they didn't want to spend more money. The manager saw Neil's embarrassment and told Neil that it was not shameful to do resource recycling. But Neil used to be a white-collar worker. He would never go to pick up trash. Facing his empty dignity, the administrator said,
"Stick around here long enough, you will."
After the previous failure, Neil lowered his posture this time and applied for some small companies. He applied for a job at a convenience store, but was rejected by all of them. If this situation continues, Neil can't even afford a place to camp and can only wander in the wilderness, which is more important, dignity or survival. Someone once said that the strongest thing a person has ever done is to try to survive. At this time, Neil figured it out. He threw away his dignity and picked up trash. But he still retained a trace of principle. He didn't want to eat the leftovers in the trash can, so he only picked up cans. The job of picking up trash also has rules. Neil went to someone else's territory to pick up trash and was taught a lesson. At this time, an old man comforted him and said that if someone communicates with others in a tough way, it means that his heart is more fragile. The old man gave him half a bag of trash as a starting capital. These two are the elders of this camp. They know that Neil hasn't eaten for a few days, so he wanted to treat him to a working meal. Neil was a little confused. Do garbage collectors provide working meals? The elder said that the meals picked up during work are called working meals. When Neil heard that the food was picked up, he said he was not used to it. Neil said he would earn money to buy new food,